The night Jacob Halley opened his cabin door to a soaked, trembling stranger, the storm was tearing the desert apart. Wind and thunder roared. Rain slashed sideways like knives, and he never imagined that one moment of mercy would turn his quiet life into a battlefield. The woman who collapsed at his feet wasn't just running from the storm. She was running from her own family. Her name was Eliza Maddox, though she whispered it like it was a lie. Her eyes haunted, her dress torn. Every instinct warned Jacob to turn her away, but something in her silence felt familiar, like the look of someone who had already lost everything. So he pulled her inside, locked the door, and offered her fire and shelter, unaware that far beyond the hills, armed riders were already carving her name into the dust. By the light of the fire, Eliza finally spoke, her voice shaking as thunder cracked the sky. She confessed her powerful rancher family had sentenced her to death for refusing an arranged marriage. When they ran, they marked her as a traitor to be erased, not for love, but for control. Jacob realized too late that by saving her, he had placed a target on his own back. Before dawn, the sound of distant hoofbeats crept across the desert like a warning. Jacob moved Elisa into the hidden cellar beneath the cabin, just as shadows surrounded the walls. Lantern lights slid over rifles, held by hard men with no mercy in their eyes, led by her own cousin, Samuel Maddox. His voice cut through the rain like a death sentence, demanding she be surrendered in the name of family honor. But Jacob stepped onto the porch alone. Rain washed old scars on his hands as he lied without blinking, swearing no woman had passed through his door. The lie nearly cost him his life when Samuel slammed a rifle into his ribs and ordered the cabin searched. The men stormed inside, their boots shaking the floor above Eliza's silent terror. As one rider stood directly above the hidden cellar door, Jacob reached for his gun, knowing the next second would decide everything. But fate struck first. A lightning bolt exploded the sky, spooking the horses. Chaos ripped through the formation, giving Jacob just enough time to throw the first shot. The desert erupted into hellfire as bullets tore through rain and wood. By sunrise, the ground was stained with blood, the riders driven back but not defeated. Inside the ruined cabin, Elisa emerged, shaking, guilt crushing her voice as she begged Jacob to leave her behind before her family returned with an army. But Jacob, bruised and bleeding, only stared back with quiet fire in his eyes. He told her that once a man opens his door to the hunter becomes his enemy forever. They fled before noon, riding hard through canyons and dry riverbeds, hiding in abandoned mines by night. Behind them, the Maddox family unleashed every weapon, every bribe, every hired gun to erase the shame Eliza represented. On the road, fear turned slowly into trust, and trust into something deeper neither dared to name. In every stolen glance between gunsmoke and moonlight lived the knowledge that love on the run is written in blood. The chase reached its peak in a narrow desert pass where Eliza's family cornered them. Samuel himself rode forward beneath a burning sunset, offering Jacob one last chance to save his own life by handing her over. But Jacob stood his ground as bullets began to fly, shielding Elisa with his body. When the smoke cleared, Samuel lay wounded but alive, staring in disbelief as Eliza stepped forward at last, a gun trembling in her hands. And we thought she fired not to kill, but to break his power, sending him crashing into the sand, defeated. The rest of the riders fled, their dynasty cracked in a single moment of courage. When silence finally returned to the desert, Jacob and Eliza stood alone among the dust and fallen weapons, knowing there was no path backward. That night, as they rode into the open desert beneath a sky free of thunder, Jacob realized the stranger he had once sheltered was no longer a hunted woman, but the beginning of a new life. Neither of them had ever believed they were worthy to live.